Welcome to the EVA India Insights podcast. As part of our Cyber Awareness Month special, we're running an ongoing series titled Navigating Cyber Threats, where we explore how, as a leader, you can effectively approach the cybersecurity challenges of today and tomorrow. In this episode, we will focus on the security challenges of operational technology and how to overcome them. I'm your host, Taranum, and our guest for today is Sambit Sinha, Technology Consulting Partner and Leader of OT Security at EVA India. Sambit brings over 30 years of experience in IT, OT, and cyber across various sectors. Welcome to our podcast, Sambit. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Taranum. Pleasure to be here.
Great, let us dive right in, Sambit. So, for our listeners who may not be familiar, can you explain what operational technology is and how it differs from information technology, particularly in the context of cybersecurity?
Sure, Taranum. Operational technologies is a generic term. It refers to systems like DCS systems, like distributed control systems, programmable logic controllers, SCADA systems. Those are the systems that are generically called as OT systems. Now, OT systems are the ones which run industrial plants. Say, for an example, a refinery, a power plant, a cement plant. These are the systems that are run by OT systems. Now, if you look at the difference between IT systems and OT systems, IT systems are primarily used for storage and processing of data, while OT systems control physical processes and systems. Now, if you look at from a cybersecurity angle, IT cybersecurity is mainly focused on protecting sensitive information, as our Aadhaar numbers or health information, education records, and so on and so forth. The impact of cyber attack on sensitive data could be, reputational damage, financial losses, or penalties to organizations. OT, on the other hand, focuses on ensuring the safety and reliability of critical infrastructure in industries. So OT networks are fragile and traditional vulnerability scanning systems don't work there. The risk of, and it carries the risk of the entire plant going offline. So repercussions of cyber attacks on OT systems in critical infrastructure can result in dire consequences. It could result in possibly facility shutdowns, equipment malfunctions. It could cause explosions. So essentially the effect could have a detrimental impact on health and human safety.
Thank you for that, Sambit. And perhaps that distinction becomes all the more crucial when we consider the increased nature of digitization and automation of OT. Speaking of which, why do you think are OT assets now considered to be at a greater risk than ever before?
So all these years, or traditionally, OT systems were sitting in islands, air-gapped from the rest of the organization's technology footprint. Their sole purpose was to make sure that the plant's production was at the pace that it was configured for. And because they weren't connected to the rest of the organization, there was very little cyber threat to the networks in the OT systems. Increasingly, the managements of all organizations are demanding real-time information from their plants. This is necessitating the integration of OT systems to IT, thereby exposing them to potential cyber threats. Further, there are other reasons as well that is necessitating the integration of OT to IT, which could be connecting them to the pollution control board systems, or which could be the pollution control board monitoring the compliance to pollution norms of the respective plants, or possibly the plants themselves wanting speedy maintenance and thereby connecting the systems remotely to OEMs for maintenance purposes. All these connectivities are essentially exposing the OT assets to greater risks of a cyber threat.
So, Samit, what would you say are the key challenges and vulnerabilities that organizations face today when it comes to securing their OT systems?
So I'd say on the top of the table is lack of awareness of cybersecurity amongst the OT folks. When I say, and it's quite a radical statement, but I'd hazard to say so, primarily because we are seeing and we are experiencing this on a day-to-day basis. It is known that the environment is complex, and the rapid digitization has brought about connectivity at different levels of the IT systems to OT systems. Now, there are benefits definitely of connecting IT to OT, but what has been done to ensure that one puts in an adequate security layer around the connectivity, and that needs to be focused upon. The challenges are around legacy systems. Most of the OT systems used today are manufactured or possibly deployed without any or possibly very limited security features. They are insecure by design. So traditionally, OT and ICS systems are not authentic. ICS communication rather are not authenticated, and protocols are unencrypted during transit. So most of the ICS systems utilize proprietary protocols and vendor-specific protocols. There are issues around latency that arise when legacy systems or high-speed, real-time operating systems are used with multiple firewall rules, and ineffective micro-segmentation, if you may. So largely these are the issues, and from a technology standpoint, last but not the least, there aren't too many consistent processes at the OT to secure the OT setup from a cyber standpoint.
Thank you, Sambit, for joining us and sharing your valuable insights on these critical aspects of OT cybersecurity. We're sure it's been an enlightening conversation for our listeners.
Thank you, Taranum.
Thank you. So, to our listeners, if you have feedback for today's episode or questions for us, please do feel free to share it on our website or email us at markets.eyindia@in.ey.com. Until next time, I am Taranum, and this is the Cybersecurity Month Awareness Special Podcast Series by EY India. From all of us here at EY India, thank you for listening in.